Despite being more closely related to scorpions, their exoskeleton is more—
Dang! Look at him leak! My God!
Despite being more closely related to scorpions, their exoskeleton—
Overkill? Good Lord!
which I talked more about in my spider tier list video.
I don't care how many people have tarantulas as pets. I don't care how harmless or how... Do not bring one of them mugs near me. On God, I'm gonna be making them drop a spider eye like it's Minecraft. Don't bring that tarantula nowhere near me, game.
Web traps are most useful against flying builds, but webs can also be cast out as a net to target players scurrying along the ground.
What the fuck?
Whiffing a pounce attack can literally send you falling to your doom.
That's messed up.
The arboreal ones. Whiffing a pounce attack can literally send you falling to your doom.
That's messed up, bro.
Racist against rappers, they all look the same to him. They used to beg him not to egg him on Halloween. He told him holler back with the suede Pumas, dollar green. Nah, I mean, heat it up till the temperature tarball. Y'all just gawk like gargoyle.
Welcome back to the Kenzino channel, baby. I got some bad news. The Xbox 360 that I just bought not even a month ago, it already went brick on me, bro. Like, this is, I'm genuinely, like, upset. Okay, I just got this game. This game just came into the mail a couple days ago. I haven't even used it yet. I got a cord coming in. I'm hoping that that's going to resolve the issue. If not, you might catch me on the news. Enough of that. Let's get to what y'all came here for. Y'all clicked on the video for. We finna get our nerd on today. We got some TierZoo, baby. How spiders broke the game. Oh yeah. We finna learn on something today. I love TierZoo. Love it. Let's go. If you have arachnophobia, well, you probably shouldn't have clicked on the video. Damn. Why he suicide with it?
This episode was sponsored by War Thunder. Arthropods have been one of the most dominant factions in the game since pretty much the very beginning. The safety provided by their tough exoskeletal armor gave the arthropod player base a lot of room to experiment with new builds.
I still don't understand how centipedes and millipedes and most arthropods, I still don't understand how most like isopods even function, bro.
One of the most successful examples is the spider, a unique arthropod build with a whole arsenal of powerful abilities. But just how broken are spiders? Today, we're discussing their stats, their special abilities, and their matchups to demonstrate just how overpowered they truly are.
Okay, look, I'm not like a big bug guy, okay, but I fuck with jumping spiders. I think jumping spiders are actually kind of cute, and I know they're stupid smart.
But before we talk about all of their busted attributes, first we have to talk about the least overpowered thing about them, their base stats.
Yeah.
While spiders are some of the most effective predators the game has ever known, it's not because their raw stats are anything special. In fact, if anything, their stats make them look pretty pathetic at first glance. There's a common misconception that spiders are, like, absurdly strong for their size, and although they can indeed lift things 10 times their own body weight, that's honestly not even par for the course when it comes to their weight class. The real kings of the strength category, builds like the ant and beetle.
Hercules beetles freak me out, bro. They just don't look natural, bro. They don't look natural.
Are several times stronger. In fact,
You see the way he got flicked?
Much of the spider's skill set is tailored around allowing spiders to take down large prey without needing to be strong enough to physically restrain it themselves.
That web.
Defensively, things are even worse. Spiders have some of the worst armor of any arthropod.
Watching this makes me want to play Grounded too. Like, one of my homies just told me that there's scorpions in that game.
Despite being more closely related to scorpions, their exoskeleton is more—
Dang! Look at him leak!
Armor of any arthropod.
My God!
Despite being more closely related to scorpions, their exoskeleton—
Overkill? Good Lord!
Is more akin to that of a soft, plump caterpillar than anything else.
Wow.
Their weak point is completely unarmored and—
Like, look at this freaky build, bro. Like, you got all this ass for what? I know it's for the silk. But look, this is like some turbine jet engines. Like, I'm telling you, these things should not be real.
Difficult for the spider to guard against. Any direct—
That's its heart?
Their weak point is completely unarmored and difficult for the—
What the fuck? I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense, but holy shit.
Spider to guard against. Any direct attack from a predator can easily one-shot them.
Yeah.
Their stealth is their only good stat, with the rest of them being mid at best. Of course, that is on average. Some spider builds do specialize in mobility or raw strength, which I talked more about in my spider tier list video.
I don't care how many people have tarantulas as pets. I don't care how harmless or how... Do not bring one of them mugs near me. On God, I'm gonna be making them drop a spider eye like it's Minecraft. Don't bring that tarantula nowhere near me, gang.
Anyway, the point is, what makes spiders broken is not their stats, but their abilities.
Yeah.
Spiders have access to a vast array of powerful perks that dramatically elevate their survival and combat capabilities.
They can swim? What the when? Since when could spiders swim? Oh, hell no.
Real quick, let's go over some of the minor ones first. The spider's appendages may seem pretty unimpressive, and sure, compared to a scorpion's claws or a locust's legs, they're nothing special. But a few things. They do have small claws at the end, which grant spiders excellent climbing mobility.
Yeah.
And similar to a lizard's tail, a spider's leg can snap off if hit by a grappling attack in order to escape a combo.
That's freaky as hell.
Unlike the lizard, though, losing only 12% of your legs is a lot less of a sacrifice than losing your only weapon. Many players don't even have the nerve to mess with spiders in the first place, though, because of their next ability, Venom.
Yeah.
With a few exceptions, every spider relies at least partially on Venom to bolster their combat strength. This gives their attacks bonus damage, making it a useful deterrent on defense. But more
I love the video game references, bro. I want to play
importantly,
Dishonored.
their venom inflicts the paralysis status effect, immobilizing their prey so that it can be more easily carried and consumed.
Yeah.
Because of how low the spider's base power stat is, this venom often needs to be extremely potent, able to immediately incapacitate its target, giving it no chance to counterattack or escape.
And I've always found it so freaky how they stand perfectly still, like literally no movement whatsoever, bro. It's freaky as hell.
Okay, but enough beating around the bush. All of those abilities pale in comparison to the spider's signature special ability, spinnerets. On this channel, there are a handful of abilities that I bring up over and over as being meta-definingly broken. Tool use, flight, eusociality, echolocation, color change, these all can make or break a character's placement on the tier list.
Shout out to the cuttlefish, baby.
I think silk spinning
That's not a cuttlefish, I'm tripping.
belongs in this same category. This ability is how spiders broke the game. It is one of the most versatile abilities of all.
And aggravating as hell. I hate walking into spider webs, bro. It's ridiculous.
With applications spanning nearly every aspect of survival, from mobility to offense to defense to tons of niche utility use cases. Let's break it down. The most well-known use is, of course, the standard web trap. A spider player will construct a sticky, net-shaped trap and simply wait for an unsuspecting player to accidentally fly in.
Like, I just don't understand how did they learn to do this. Like, I just need to know. Like, I'm so curious.
Contact with the web immediately.
Dude, what the fuck is up with these? Yo, I'm not gonna lie, these spiders right here, I'll never go near. I don't give a damn if they're harmless or what, bro. Enough.
He inflicts the restrained status condition, which is pretty much instant GG's versus a build that can one-shot you if it lands a hit.
Yeah.
But trapping prey really only scratches the surface when it comes to the utility of silk and spinnerets.
Orb weavers.
I'd argue the ability to spin webs buffs literally every aspect of spider gameplay, and completely negates all the shortcomings of their
That's crazy. Australia? Yeah, y'all have fun with that game.
stats. In general, spiders are not all that nimble. Their large abdomens are fairly cumbersome, and without wings, they're far below average as far as arthropods go. But the amount of additional movement options web spinning gives you is insane. Silk can be used to cross massive gaps with ease. It can be used to completely negate falling damage.
Okay, look, no freaky, but I wonder how that feels like to just be relying on a string coming out of your butt to hold your weight up. Look, in my defense, I'm just curious. I'm not saying I want it to happen to me. I'm just saying I wonder what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does it feel like? Does it feel weird? Does it feel like how, you know what, let me stop while I'm ahead.
It can be used to quickly ascend from a low position, and in some cases it can even be used to fly, albeit without much directional control.
I've seen it. I've seen the ones where some spiders like make web parachutes and they float away.
But also without the need for cumbersome wings.
Yeah, that's freaky as shit, bro.
Next, let's talk about stealth. While many spiders do have decent camouflage, webs complement their ability to hide in a few ways. The first is just that it enables them to hide in plain sight by positioning themselves away from...
I'm so glad I'm not high watching this. I'm so glad I'm not high watching this, bro. I would have been tweaked out.
Places that a player would normally check. It's very hard for eyes to focus on something unless they already know the general area to look. So just by nature of sitting in an unorthodox spot, many players will completely miss you.
It's so freaky because it's so effective. Like, it's so effective, bro. Because if you don't already know it's there, unless the light is hitting on it perfectly to where you notice it, you're going to walk smack into that thing every single time.
But if a player does detect a spider's
Get this freaky ass thing off my screen.
presence,
The orb weavers, I don't mess with.
there's an advanced technique they can employ to give themselves a better chance to escape. By mashing back and forth on your controller, you can cause the web to vibrate, temporarily granting you the blurred buff, boosting your evasion and making it much more likely that incoming attacks will miss.
What the fuck? I did not know spiders vibrate.
Webs may be the most useful for boosting the spider's offense.
Yeah.
We already talked about the web trap, but there are many more ways a spider can use its webs to increase its odds of a successful hunt.
Look at that.
Web traps are most useful against flying builds, but webs can also be cast out as a net to target players scurrying along the ground more.
What the fuck?
Flying builds, but webs can also be cast out as a net to target players scurrying along the ground more effectively.
What the fuck kind of spider is this?
Essentially bringing the web to them rather than waiting and hoping they wander in.
What?
Or if you want to get even more extreme, silk can be fired as a sticky projectile to pin down opponents at a safe distance.
What? So, okay, Spider-Man.
But you don't need to get anywhere near that fancy with it. Even just the basic concept of using a strand of silk to tether yourself to a surface opens up so many attack options in combat.
Leroy Jenkins.
Let me give you an example. Pouncing strikes are one of the riskiest attacking moves a player can employ in combat. They're excellent for closing distance on a target and dealing damage simultaneously.
But it leaves you
But
vulnerable.
if you miss, the momentum from the jump can result in your character ending up in a dangerous situation.
Yep.
Pounce is usually seen as the signature move of the Cat faction. And in those examples, the worst case scenario is usually just putting yourself in range of a counterattack.
Damn, he got hit right in the neck, bro.
But for builds in lower weight classes, and especially arboreal ones, whiffing a pounce attack can literally send you falling to your doom. For
That's messed up. That's messed up.
the arboreal ones, whiffing a pounce attack can literally send you falling to your doom.
That's messed up, bro.
For spiders, this risk is completely negated with a single silk tether, meaning jumping spiders can get super greedy with their attacks without needing to worry about poor positioning.
Jumping spiders are dope. I had a jumping spider. Like, I seen a jumping spider when I was at my job. He was sitting on top of a box, and literally he just was watching me stack the boxes. Like, he was just following me around, just watching. I ain't touch him though. Yeah, I like to observe from a distance.
Silk can even be used to approach from unconventional angles that players aren't used to covering. Great for allowing jumping spiders to attack other spiders' weak points. It really is just an incredibly broken ability, especially for the jumping spider, which can combo silk production with its excellent burst mobility.
Imagine getting snagged off of your own web. I'm not gonna lie, I would come back and haunt you.
We're not done though, because silk production can also be used defensively, mainly in the form of base construction. The standard web trap is technically a form of this, though it's probably the least defense-oriented and frankly leaves you quite open to an attack.
Yeah.
But
Oh my god.
skilled players can construct webs in a far more defensive manner if they choose. Styles like the tent web provide much more cover at the cost of visibility. But if you want to really max out your defenses, the
The trapdoor spiders.
trapdoor spider's strategy can't be beat.
That's so fucking freaky, bro. That nigga really got swiped up.
But if you want to really max out your defenses, the trapdoor spider's strategy can't be
Yoink.
beat. Rather than using a sticky web to trap its opponents, it instead digs a burrow and uses silk to reinforce the walls and help control the temperature inside, while also laying out a few tripwires on the outside to allow the spider to detect when other players are in range of an ambush. It is admittedly a bit less precise than more active hunting types are though. Now, if you really want to go crazy with it, most of the spider's usual enemies aren't going to look for you underwater. So if you've got the guts to dive down, you can construct a bell web underwater and use that as your home base while you...
What spider is this? And when can we exterminate them, bro? Because this is not okay. This is not okay, bro. You're able to build a web underwater?
guts to dive down, you can construct a bell web underwater and use that as your home base while you hunt for fish and tadpoles.
Fish and tadpoles. A spider that eats fish. Are we still on planet Earth? When did we get to Gringong 9? I've never heard of this. A spider that eats a fish. I'd be damned.
It's a high-risk, high-reward playstyle, though, given how many dangerous builds lurk below the surface.
Damn, that tadpole was fucking them up, though.
Overall, spiders have an incredible array of traits, and with smart play, they can subvert just about all of their weaknesses.
The most dangerous part of that mantis is still free, though.
However, there are still some vulnerabilities that skilled players can exploit. So let's talk about their matchups. The spider's best matchups are, of course, flying insects. Their wings get
big ass cicada
easily tangled in the web and can get torn up as they try to escape.
Damn.
Getting trapped is almost certainly GG for them.
Yeah.
Reptiles may seem like they should have a solid matchup against spiders, and of course, when there are massive size discrepancies, it can be pretty unfair.
Damn.
Matchup against spiders, and of course, when there are massive size discrepancies, it can.
Did you just fling off? Did you just shake him so hard you flung off some of his legs? Hold on, bro. Hold on, I'm trying to go frame by
like they
frame.
should have a.
I swear to God, look at that! You flung off his leg.
It can be pretty unfair.
That's crazy.
But for less tanky reptiles, spiders are a huge threat.
What spider is that?
Scale armor is great for blocking slashing damage, but piercing fangs can puncture right through their defenses and inflict devastating venomous bites.
Wow.
This matchup also really helps it sink in just how strong spider silk is, as even medium-sized reptiles can't easily shake it off.
What?
Frogs, and in particular tree frogs, are an especially explosive matchup. Because both frogs and spiders have incredibly low defenses, one wrong move is all it takes.
Nothing of value was lost.
Frogs can easily one-shot spiders, and because of their excellent burst mobility, it's difficult for spiders to evade their attacks. But frogs can also easily get caught in a spider's web while jumping through
frogs are dumb as hell.
trees. And once stuck, a spider can pierce through the frog's paper-thin defenses like
Jesus, look at the way he... Oh my God, is that the blood rushing to his head?
nothing, resulting in immediate paralysis. A highly volatile matchup, and surprisingly neutral given the amphibian's low-tier status.
Yeah.
Beetles are an interesting case. They're
like
flying
mini
insects,
tanks.
but because of their absurdly high power and defense stats, they're a challenge for spiders to overcome even when caught in their web.
Yeah.
Their armor is so thick that a spider's fangs might not be able to pierce through.
Shout out to beetles.
And they're so strong that even when fully enveloped in a web cocoon, they can sometimes tear through.
That's crazy.
Spider players are often stuck just sitting and waiting for beetles to either free themselves
Man, fuck that weevil.
or die of exhaustion. Birds are typically seen as the worst matchup for all terrestrial arthropods.
Dude, what is this feat? What are some of these spiders? I have look at this fucking forearms. What are we talking about? You got the Omnitrix?
But at the same time,
God.
silk web traps are highly effective against flying enemies,
What?
and birds are no exception.
I've never seen a bird get trapped in a web before.
Webs are strong
I'm not gonna lie, that's literally just skill issue at that point. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, that's a skill issue.
enough to capture small birds, and feathers offer very little protection against venomous fangs.
I never
However,
thought
if
about
given
that.
the chance, birds will pick off an out-of-position spider in an instant, and the bird's armored beak presents no opportunity for the spider to counterattack.
Yeah, for real.
Taking out a spider is worth a lot of XP for birds, as they can also steal all of the insects that are trapped in its web. One of the spider's worst matchups is against bats, which is surprising because it's another flyer.
I never thought about
This
that.
is because the spider's double team technique has to be used on reaction. So, if a spider ever fails to see an enemy coming, it could easily get one shot before it has a chance to respond. This makes them especially vulnerable to builds with the echolocation ability, as they can strike from total darkness, giving the spider zero chance to detect the incoming attack
It's kind of freaky, bro.
before it's too late. And
That's
lastly, this isn't a
crazy.
matchup per se, but one of the other weaknesses spiders have are
Is water,
storms.
yeah.
Severe weather events affect web building spiders much more negatively than most characters, as high winds and heavy precipitation can render a web ineffective
It
if it
should look pretty though.
doesn't just outright destroy it. All of this to say, if you take away silk spinning, spiders are actually a real mixed bag when it comes to their viability in the meta. But
I was about to say, if you take away silk, I would assume spiders drop to F tier.
with access to spinnerets, many of them jump from low mid-tier to high tier, with jumping spiders in particular being arguably top tier. Silk really is
Shout out to jumping spiders.
just that broken. Knowledge of the enemy's weak points and vulnerabilities.
Shout out to War Thunder. Love that. I'll never get over how Tarantula keeps frogs as pets. It's like seeing how tarantulas keep frogs as pets. A fucking spider jockey. Yeah, I'm cool on this. I am cool on that. Ooh, wow. Yeah, I'm cool on that.